In this tabletop review, I'm going to be unpackaging and taking a look at a one-point sling made by Blackhawk. They call it their Tactical Releasable S.T.R.I.K.E sling. It is made with heavy-duty elliptical bungee and tubular nylon webbing. It's a fully adjustable tactical sling which features a metal snap hook at both ends for convenient attachment to most weapon systems, brackets and attachment buckles, or even strike webbing. These are available in black. They carry a part number of 70GS13BK. Some of the features: adjustable design to fit all operators, side release buckle for quick firearm attachment and removal, and a secure 3-point cop lock buckle in the middle for easy weapon removal from the attaching point on the vest or other platform. This has a retail of $33.95. I found that you can pick these up for $20 to $25. This is not the first one that I purchased. I've got another one, but since I purchased this one for use on a backup vest that I have. So this is the packaging that the Blackhawk S.T.R.I.K.E one-point releasable sling comes in. Nothing much to talk about there with the packaging, although the packaging has a kind of a Ziploc function to it, so you can unzip it and remove the contents, which also would allow you to reuse this storage bag for other things. There's also a little moisture absorbent packet in there. So the card that ships with this is, I'm assuming, just a warranty card. Yeah, it's a warranty card. I'm just looking here real quick to see what the warranty is listed at, because this card has a warranty for all their different products. It says Blackhawk Tactical Nylon, life of the original owner, all products, so lifetime warranty. All right, so that's the packaging. Packaging is good. So basically, this is the sling. Let me reposition the camera here so we can get a better look at this. Okay, I've got pretty much all of the sling in the frame of the camera, so you can take a look at it. What we have on both ends are these HK style snap hooks, which are nice hooks. And moving upwards, we've got the straight nylon here. And then we come up to the buckle, which they refer to as a 3-point cop lock buckle. And basically, to unsnap this, it pretty much requires either two hands, or you've got to be pretty clever with one hand, because you need to press down on this tab to release it. I also found that this buckle can snap in the opposite direction. If you do snap it in the opposite direction, it's no longer a 3-point cop lock type of buckle. It can release just like a standard buckle just by pressing these tabs in. I don't know if you would want to flip this over, but obviously it will work if you do flip it over. The buckle is nice material. The polymer that it's made out of, it says UTX Flex Rock Lockster on the back of the buckle. The stitching from the nylon onto the buckle, it's hard for me to tell if it's triple stitched. Looks like it's triple stitched, or if not 4 times stitching. When you move up here to this section where the bungee is, you've got a X pattern here, or an hourglass pattern here with the stitching. This is stitched together very well. This area right here, very well stitched. Sorry for the extra noise there with the buckles. That bungee is pretty good, pretty hardcore bungee. You could carry a pretty heavy firearm with this bungee. I've seen some bungee that's really weak, and if you were to let go of your firearm and just let it drop, it actually bounces, if not the end of your barrel hitting the ground. So you don't want cheap bungee on your sling. This is definitely much stiffer than most of the bungees I've seen. Moving on to here, we've got more of that X or that hourglass type stitching right here. And then of course up to this other plastic buckle, and then on the other end you have another HK hook. This is in my opinion, a high quality sling. It's made very well. It has excellent quality buckles on it, uses excellent quality nylon from what I can tell, and the stitching is excellent, and the end hooks are excellent. Now what takes this a little bit further is this. A lot of slings I've seen, they come with the, if you've got, let's use this one. If you've got a hook down here, it's sewn on. So if you want to do anything with it, you've got to start cutting. This is not sewn on. You can remove these buckles, so you can wrap this around your buttstock of your rifle if you want to secure it that way, or if you have a QD. This obviously is not the most appropriate QD for this type of purpose, but I just had it sitting here, so I'll use it for demonstration purposes. So if you wanted to replace the hook with a QD, you can just put it in there, and boom, now you've got a QD on the end of it. So this is very flexible, in my opinion. Now, this type of one-point sling, it has limited functionality, of course, because it's designed to clip on to a D-ring on your tactical vest. So if you're wearing just a regular jacket, or if you're wearing a shirt, this sling isn't really going to work out too well for you, because you don't really have any place to clip this to. So is this going to replace your standard 1-point or your 2-point sling? No, I really don't think so. I think this is a sling that you would attach to your tactical vest, and you would leave it with your tactical vest. So when you go to put your tactical vest on, your sling's on it, and you're good to go. At least that's how I use it, and that's how I see the function of this particular sling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I attach this Blackhawk S.T.R.I.K.E sling to my tactical vest, and the reasoning behind that as well. Like I mentioned, this is not my first one. I've got another one on another vest that I played around with quite a bit, and I did run into a problem, and I'll talk about that when I get my vest on camera here. Okay. You're going to have to excuse me. I can't get my entire vest in frame on the camera here, and of course I can't get it to stand up by itself. So I'm going to lay it down on my display area, and we'll just talk about how I would attach this. Now, this particular carrier that I have here, I don't have D-rings up here on the shoulder. So connecting of this type of sling onto this type of vest is a little bit more problematic, so you've got to come up with a solution. You can see there's Velcro here that allows me to adjust this over the shoulders. So in theory, you can pretty much clip this anywhere you can find a spot to clip it. I could clip it right there, for example. and run it like that. Of course, now I may not be able to get it back off. Not an ideal location by any means. A lot of Blackhawk and 511 vests, tactical zip-up type vests with the MOLLE on them, they'll have a D-ring right up here, which makes this real easy to clip onto. One of my other vests, which does have a D-ring right about in this location, you know, if I clip this on right here, and you have a rather heavy firearm, what I found was that this has a tendency of pulling down and bunching up your vest material. And I found that inconvenient as well as uncomfortable. It seemed to me like the D-rings being here on the front face of the vest, it would make a lot more sense if they were back here. So what I've done, flip this in the back so you can see. On the back of my vest here, through this MOLLE, I actually have a stainless steel, this is like a keychain loop, but it's not a cheap one. It's one of those hard stainless steel ones. And what I do is I'll run this over the shoulder, and I'll clip it back here, and then run it up like this. And what this does is it basically, it's not pulling on the front of my vest, pulling it down. If anything, it's going to pull up on the back of the vest, but it also helps distribute the weight of the firearm over the top of the shoulder. Now, this may not affect everybody per se, but I'm kind of a, I don't have a large frame, so I don't have a lot of fat on me, and I found that this was more comfortable. The other thing that I liked about doing that was it took up some of the slack on this sling. As it sits, you can see how far down this goes. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like my firearm hanging down that low. I like my firearm to sit up much higher. So there is a certain amount of adjustability with the extra material here. So you can do quite a bit of adjustment on this to adjust the length. And that's what I normally do, so I can get my firearm to kind of sit up a little bit higher, so it's much easier to pull up to my shoulder. But what I also do is when I get this in place, for example, one of the other problems is it moves around. Now, some vests with the pieces that come over the shoulder, there's pads, and you can wrap this underneath your pad. If you can do that, I definitely suggest doing it. What I end up doing is once I get things kind of set up, I'll run some zip ties on this, and the zip ties basically just to keep the sling over my pad on over my shoulder so it doesn't slide off. So I want to keep it in one place, zip tie there, or maybe a zip tie back there, whatever. And you can basically see how I've got this ready to rock. So that's my preferred way to use this. After I get it adjusted and everything, I'll fold up this extra material and I'll zip tie that down as well. Or I'll use some Velcro and zip tie that up also. And in this position here, as you can see, like I showed you before, if you had a problem with the 3-point cop lock type of buckle, you can reverse it. And I've used it both ways in the field. And really the only negative is you've got your tag right there that's facing up instead of down, if that bothers you. And of course, if flipping it over, the release on your buckles going the other way, you can just take this off and flip the buckle over. So no problem there. So you've got a little bit of flexibility with how you want to run this and how you can custom tailor it. You can see that, having it like this, running it over the shoulder, I still have all the bungee in the front. This basically just gives me a really secure access, a really secure point back here, and takes up a lot of the excess of the sling. This happens to be a small vest. Larger vests, you may or may not want to do that, I don't know, or extra large vests if you're a large person. but that's more or less how I like to run this. So the Blackhawk Tactical Releasable Strike Sling, I give it 2 thumbs up, mainly because I've already been using one for a while. I really like it on my other vest. My other vest is not a plate carrier. This is my plate carrier vest, so I decided to go ahead and get one of these for my plate carrier and basically keep it on here. I do not believe these are available in any other colors. I think black is the only color they're available in, which is kind of disappointing. It would have been nice to have a tan or a coyote or a flat dark earth to match this vest, but it is what it is. So I'm going to wrap this video review up of the Blackhawk Tactical Releasable Strike Sling.